Hello everyone, back tuning in today's first video during weekend forecast. As always on a Saturday, we're having a detailed look at weather for the week ahead. Later on, we'll do the CFS 6 months look ahead. That's just for fun, and it's going to take us from next month, from April through to September, with the Longrange CFSV tomorrow. That'll be with you around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Before I get on weekend forecast, just say about websites using for the forecast, coming from theweatheroutlook.com and webcent.de. You find both those websites on the links page. This is the radar picture from the Weather Outlook. Got showery rain up in the north and the west at the moment. Some quite wet weather actually across northwest England and coming down into Wales. It is a little bit more sporadic across Scotland and parts of Northern Ireland as well. It's mostly dry down in the south and the southeast. Here's today's not too pressure chart. We've got high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north. We're bringing in this quite strong westerly wind. We're within a warm sector of air today, so it is fairly mild, albeit quite a lot of cloud. So for the south and southeast, we're going to keep it fairly dry and cloudy. There will be a few damp patches coming and going, but I think many places from the Midlands down to the south and southeast will stay dry. Further north, though, we've got those outbreaks of rain through Wales, northern England, coming to southwest Scotland. Some very wet weather on the western side of hills and slopes, always patchier with the rain to the east of high ground. And then Scotland is drier, again with a few brighter breaks and some showers coming through up there. Temperatures ranging from around 8 to 14 Celsius. It feels very mild in the south despite the fairly strong wind and quite a lot of cloud. Now overnight that rain's going to push northwards, so I think we're going to find wet weather really setting in across Scotland, Northern Ireland, possibly some parts of northwest England as well. Further south we have a fair amount of dry weather through the rest of England and Wales. Again, there could be little bits and pieces of light rain and drizzle coming and going, but most places in the south will stay dry. We've got quite strong winds, tightly packed isobars there. So it's going to be a fairly windy night, cloudy night, but it will be a mild night. Temperatures ranging from around 5 to 10 Celsius. We get through into Sunday and we're going to have that band of rain moving southwards. So for central southern parts of England and Wales, I think we remain dry, we remain quite windy, fair amount of cloud coming and going, but a few brighter breaks punching through that cloud as well. Then we have the wet weather to start off with across Scotland and Northern Ireland. That will move south into northern England and North Wales, with the rain tending to become lighter and patchier as it does so. Brighter skies follow to the north and also colder air, so showers across northern Scotland will start to turn increasingly wintry. Temperatures tomorrow again ranging from around say 7 to 13 Celsius generally, but in the far north it will be colder, with temperatures of just 5 degrees for northern parts of Scotland. That weather front tends to pep up overnight on sunny into Monday, so Monday could be quite a wet day for England and Wales. It's stuck across England and Wales, strung out, so expect outbreaks of rain. They may turn lighter and patchy on Monday afternoon, but overall I think the southeast, which is Wales and Midlands, central southern England, to southeast England and East Anglia, are likely to have outbreaks of rain coming and going through much of the day on Monday. Further north, we're bringing down a colder northwesterly wind. So Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England, probably increasingly Wales, will be brighter on Monday with sunny spells, but expect showers, and those showers will turn wintry over high ground in the north, and the northern part of Scotland, that snow could start to come down to quite low levels by the end of Monday. Temperatures in the far north just 3 or 4 degrees at best. In the south, probably only around 9 or 10. It will be a cooler day and feeling fairly miserable actually with those persistent outbreaks of rain across southern and southeastern parts. That rain finally gets away overnight, Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday should be a better day for England and Wales, with more in the way of sunny spells. A few showers, but more in the way of sunshine for England and Wales on Tuesday. However, this area of low pressure is slipping southwards across Ireland, so that's going to take outbreaks of rain into Ireland, possibly with some hill snow, and those outbreaks of rain might affect parts of western Scotland as well. Otherwise, expect wintry showers for Scotland with mostly dry weather down in the south. Temperatures on Tuesday look fairly chilly really, at around say 3 to 9 degrees. Then we've got a very complex weather setup developing on Wednesday. This area of low pressure is sliding down the western side of the country. We've got much colder air trying to surge in from the north, but on the eastern side of this low, it's battling against milder air from the south, and I can actually show you that perhaps a little bit better on the upper air temperature. So there's all the cold air up to the north and west trying to surge southwards, and we've got plenty mild air across France trying to push up on the eastern side of that low pressure. It's a complex setup, and there's going to be a dividing line. There'll be a band of rain somewhere across the country. That rain could be really quite persistent and heavy. Where that band of rain is, however, is very uncertain. At the moment, I would suggest the most likely area to be very wet, potentially, on Wednesday is northern England, down into Wales and possibly into southwestern parts of England as well. And there might be a little bit of hill snow mixed in with that, especially over Welsh mountains and the Pennines, where there could be significant snow, perhaps over mountains. To the north, I think Scotland and increasingly Northern Ireland will be brighter with sunny spells, but it will be cold, and there's a chance of fairly good chance of snow showers there in those northern areas. And that leaves the south and southeast, potentially the Midlands as well, mostly dry with sunny spells. It could be very mild in the southeast with temperatures perhaps up to around 13 or 14 degrees again, whereas across northern Scotland, you may be struggling to get much above around 2 or 3 degrees, so barely above freezing across northern Scotland, the south heading up in towards the mid-teens Celsius, perhaps a big contrast in temperature, and it is that temperature contrast that could produce quite a lot of rain for somewhere, but difficult to say where, during the course of Wednesday. Now, by Thursday, that low pressure is moving further southwards and high pressure is beginning to build in from behind to the northwest. It's getting the wind into the east. So things become simpler on Thursday. We take a band of rain south and east across England and Wales, moving away to France, and then we turn the wind into the east, which will be quite a cold wind and probably dragging in a lot of clouds, so a pretty dismal day potentially on Thursday with a cold easterly wind and a lot of cloud, maybe wintry showers in the northeast of the country as well. Temperatures just 3 to 8 Celsius, but feeling colder in that easterly wind. By the time we go through to Friday, there's a lot of uncertainty about all of it. I have to emphasise that from Wednesday onwards, there really is a lot of uncertainty, so low confidence in this part of the forecast. But by Friday, the GFS is suggesting that high pressure will be somewhere close to eastern Scotland, still pulling in this easterly wind across England and Wales. So we've got light winds for Scotland within cold air. That implies frost early and late for Scotland and northern England during the course of Friday, but also some decent sunny spells. Further south, we've got this easterly wind, so we probably don't have to worry about frost. But I would have thought this easterly wind is going to be dragging in a lot of clouds, so pretty dismal weather in the south, much sunnier weather, but also cold up in the north. Temperatures, as I say, there will be frost, I think, early and late on Friday in the north. Otherwise, temperatures by day probably ranging, again, from around 3 to 8 Celsius, but feeling pretty raw down in the south and the southeast. And then we go through into the weekend, and we still have high pressure close to us. Saturday is still pulling in this nagging easterly wind, but by Sunday we should be starting to lose that easterly wind a little bit, probably beginning to bring up less cold or even milder air from the south. So Saturday could be a very cloudy day, still with that cold easterly wind. Sunday probably loses the wind, so it doesn't feel as cold, and we may start to produce more sunshine as well, so temperatures could begin to stage a little bit of a recovery, but it is all very uncertain. I have to emphasise that from Thursday onwards. Finally, have a look at the charts from Weather Outlook. So we've got lots of showery rain in the northwest today, but best of the sunshine, and the dry weather will be down in the south and the southeast. There's going to be more rain in the north and west through the course of the Sunday. That's slipping southwards, becoming lighter and patchier as it does so, with bright skies and colder temperatures following to the north. Monday looks wet across England and Wales, with outbreaks of heavy rain there, brighter further north with showers. Showers may turn increasingly wintry. And then we go through into Tuesday, and we've got wintry showers up in the north and showery rain out in the west. Wednesday could bring quite a lot of rain to somewhere, but it's very difficult to say where. This is suggesting a band through northern England down into Wales, possibly into the Midlands, into southwest England. But really, that could be further north, it could be further south, it could be further west even on Wednesday. So it's one to keep an eye on, because that could be quite a heavy batch of rain, as there's a big temperature contrast. In the southeast, it's mostly dry and really quite mild in the north. It's dry, but with wintry showers and much colder up there. And then go through to Thursday and through to Friday. Things are drying out, but it looks quite cold, and there'll be a strong easterly wind potentially in the south, and expect a risk of night frost early and late. So in summary, it's going to be an unsettled week. We're going to have showery rain coming and going, especially through the earlier part of the week. The second half of the week probably drying out. Temperature starting off very mild, but I think it's going to get colder, especially later and in the north. Right, come back later on today for the CFS 6 Month Look Ahead. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.